After evaluating the film, there were some good things in the game, as everybody could see, and then there were some things, some mistakes that were made that needed to be cleaned up. Excuse me. We've got a lot of opportunities for young guys to play, and got a lot of reps, and so it was a great learning experience for them.
Could Cade Fortin possibly start against North Carolina State Saturday?
I mean, right. Well, I don't. I mean, I'll never talk about the guy's health. If he's healthy enough, and if we feel like he can help us win, then he could help us play. He can play for us this week.
That he's performed well enough to be that starter so far.
I mean, he's what we've seen of Cade in the games that he's been in. He's done some good things. He's done some good things, and we wouldn't have put him in the last game if we didn't, in the game before last, if we didn't feel like he could help us win.
Where defensively, there were some struggles at times in that game Saturday. How did that secondary in particular kind of grade out?
There were some. We had some breakdowns in a few places in the secondary, and early on. We were okay. The main thing we were trying to do was keep our eyes on the quarterback and keep him from beating us, just him alone, and stopping the quarterback runs and his scrambles and the things that he was doing. So we knew we were going to give up some things in the passing game to get that done, And I thought in the first half when we had all of our ones out there, those guys did a good job of containing him. But we still gave up some things in the passing game, yes.
You mentioned some of the young guys getting snaps. Jonte Williams clearly had a good game. Is that what he's shown you throughout practice for the ball?
Who did you say? I'm sorry. Yeah, Javonte. Javonte's done that. He's done that all fall, because he's been a starter on all 4 special teams. So he's been a big contributor to everything that we've been doing in special teams, and he's shown that he's prepared and ready to go. And so, we just have gotten him limited reps. And with Antonio not being able to go, it was we were able to get him more reps in the game, and then I thought he did some nice things for us. Yeah.
Any other freshmen or true redshirt freshmen that you saw on tape that really performed well, impressed you, staff?
I thought that Chris Collins did some good things out there. It was good to see Zach Gill. He made some plays for us out there. And then you've got some guys that have already been playing. Your young receiver Diami continues to do good things. Javonte, so it was good that all those guys got reps because it was valuable for them.
Quarterbacks still had some success running. A lot of quarterbacks have had success running the ball. What has been the common thread where your defense may be struggling at times with running?
Well, when you do that, you're going to put more eyes on the ball or on the quarterback, and so you're going to play more zone coverage and things. So you have to change up what you do secondary wise. And I thought, like I said in the first half, I thought we did a good job of containing him. And then when we started playing everybody else, we didn't necessarily do a good job against him. And I want to give that kid credit now. He's a good player. I mean, he's tough to handle in the open field now.
Larry, how big is the challenge for your secondary this week against their receiving core?
Yeah, they've got good receivers, and obviously they got a really good quarterback who can throw the ball and has been having success throwing against everybody. So it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, and so we're going to have to do a great job with our eyes and our eye discipline and all the things and playing fundamentally sound to be able to be in a position to control some of that.
When you recruited Cade Fortin, what did you like about him most?
Cade's a guy that can make all the throws. I mean, he can make all the throws, and he's mobile enough to where you can't just ignore his legs. He's a smart kid. He was mature. He was a kid that was a leader. But I would say the main thing is that he showed you the ability to make every throw that you needed to make on the field.
When did you first catch wind of him? When did you first learn about him?
Cade? I would say probably a sophomore year. Was when we started watching Cade, started looking at Cade. Because I mean we're usually on quarterbacks fairly early. You know, a lot of them come to camps. A lot of them, you know, we start looking at film on guys that when they're freshmen. You know, but when I really remember noticing Cade was when he was a sophomore.
You're known, you made it very clear that you keep the blinders on and outside things don't distract you.
Right.
When you have last home game coming up for these seniors, kids that you brought in, they trusted you for 4 or 5 years, do you have a moment where you get a little bit emotional thinking about this is going to be the last week that you're going to have the Cole Holcombs here?
Oh yeah, I mean it's always a bittersweet moment when you see these guys that have been in your program for 4 or 5 years and it's their last game. I mean it is, because you know they're not going to be around anymore. You're going to miss them because you love these guys. You know, you love them. I mean they're like one of your own children, and so you know they're fixing to go out in the world, and you just hope that you've done a great job of preparing them to be better men, be better husbands, be better fathers, and all those things. But yeah, I'll miss every one of these guys, and you know I love what they've done. I love the way they've approached this season and the way they've led, and you know they're all going to be better because of it.
If you factor in that and everything that has happened, the losses, you know, how would getting this particular win against a rival as well feel?
It'll feel great. I mean, anytime you beat you win in a rivalry game, it's a big deal, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a great rivalry. You got a school that's a few miles down the road, and the fans are interacting every day, and you know, so it's always fun to play in this game. I mean, and it's you know, it's more fun when you win it, I can tell you.
Team as well.
It would mean that these kids stayed the course, worked hard, prepared well, and got the job done on Saturday.
The way the last 2 gone, and speculation about your future here, have you had a conversation with Bubba recently about your situation? And
I talk to Bubba every week. I mean, every week Bubba and I sit down and talk about the game and what went on in the game and everything, and it's no different from every week throughout the entire season.
have you been given an indication of what your future is going to be here?
No, we haven't talked about anything other than the games at hand.
When you look at your 7 years here, something on the field, a couple of things on the field, what are you most proud of that the program has accomplished on the field?
You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not looking back at the last 7 years. I mean, I'm really concerned with getting this team ready to play a really good football team. I don't have time to reminisce right now about what's going on or what's happened in the past. It's more about what do we need to do to win this football game this Saturday.
Since you don't want to reminisce, I'm going to ask you anyway. Among the game-winning plays that you've been associated with in your coaching career, where is Gio's punt return?
Oh, yeah, that's as. I mean, I don't know how that can't be as big of a, you know, play ever in your life. I mean, those things don't happen very often, and they're very far and few between, and so that's always a special moment.
I guess that was your first game in the rivalry.
Yes. Yes.
Memory?
You know, at the time, you didn't really know the intensity of the rivalry. It's in your first time. I mean, other than what people talk about, but I mean, it was anytime you win a game like that. I mean, it's you know, at home. I mean, and it's a big deal. Yeah, that's something that you'll never forget.
Conference win came against Pitt, and they ended up winning the Coastal Division. Are you going back to maybe the film from that game at all to say, hey, we did something right here to beat one of the top teams in the ACC, and maybe using that as an example as you approach this game against another very talented NC State team?
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm not, because the Pitt game and what Pitt scheme and what they do has nothing to do with this team. So there's not, you know, there's things, I mean, everything we're doing is game planning against, you know, this team. And, you know, I don't know that there's much carryover from the Pitt game other than learning from the mistakes and the good things that happened in that game, which is what we do, you know, on Sundays.
How do players feel going into this game as far as knowing they can compete with NC State regardless of your record, and how many games you guys have been competitive?
I think that our guys in this game have never considered what the record is of either team. I mean, this is a rivalry game, and they get excited about playing it. I don't know that anybody's ever been concerned with the records in the game when you go into this game, because anything can happen.